Hi guys, this is Roscoe back with another review. This time it's of the Prime One Studios City Hunter Predator from their wall art series. Ordered this a couple of years ago. The first moments it went up for pre-order, ordered it through the Prime One website and it's finally arrived today. So let's go in and get a closer look at this piece. Just unboxed it about half an hour ago, so still trying to take it all in. It's definitely 1/4 scale. They didn't state the scale online. I'm assuming due to licensing issues. But it doesn't disappoint. Initial pictures, it always show, it looking off, and I was a little bit skeptical. But in person, it's actually exceeded my expectations. You've got the Biomass. So this look here is if you get the regular, it comes with the Biomass. You can actually take the mask off, put a couple of batteries in there, which will show the light up, which I'll do shortly. Now the three City Hunter markets that are available, pretty much the sideshow version. You've got the Infinity, which was released recently, and now this. I think this is the only one with a film accurate pose. Got awesome building sort of edge there, where he hangs over monitoring the streets below him. And this is comes in one piece here. That sort of for the stand, if you want the desktop stand, it sort of locks in with a steel peg, locks that in. If you wall mount it, there are two sort of hooks on the back, which I'll show you shortly as well. And there's a separate piece that you can take this one off and have a separate piece which magnetizes on if you want it on the wall. Obviously the head sculpts are separate sculpt or separate piece. You've got the helmet which magnetizes on. The plasma cannon, it's easily installed once you put the head on. This arm, sort of once you put the body on, you have to sort of maneuver this arm on, sort of turn it around, twist it so it sort of sits flush on that, or you can install it first and slide it in. The arm here, you have to assemble this piece on first, and then the hand, which holds the spear. Just misses the base down there. If you put the exclusive arm on, this whole piece from there to the hand and the disc is all one piece, whereas this one you got the two. Now, one thing I was worried about with this piece, in initial photos, I thought the armor looked like the Hot Toys version, looked very brown. In some cases it does, especially on the disc here. That's also another piece that magnetizes on as well. You can remove that. But it's very brown here. But in person, it doesn't show up very well on camera, but in person, the mask has a beautiful copper reflection. More so than Infinity, which I thought had more. And I wanted this to be more like that, but it's gone beyond the Infinity paint up with in regards to the copper bronze sort of paint apps. You can sort of see there the metallic fleck there. In person, it shows up a lot more. Still tell Prime One uses the decal sort of application of paint rather than airbrush, but it seems to do the job. The hand, love the pose. The box doesn't take up much room either, which I'll show you shortly as well. That's nice, but I was also worried that the necklace, it didn't have the details in the necklace. It does. You can't see them in photos on Facebook, but all the little beads and little tiny bones are actually in there. So they didn't miss those details. The netting is perfect. Love the netting. It's the perfect sort of scale. A lot of people use, a lot of companies, I should say, use cotton and things like that. So they look a lot thicker than they should be. Just a nice pose, natural sort of squatting pose. Feet. Right, see if I can maneuver this guy around and show you a few different angles. All right, here's a side view. There's the med kit on the back. Sort of all his armor. We do have the bone, sort of like this pocket pouch thing he has. It's almost like his jawbone that's added to it. Love how they actually have added the copper sort of oxidization, the bluey green there. So, as I mentioned, early pictures didn't do this justice, and that's the same with most statues. But I was expecting it to be a little bit better than those pictures, but in person, it is far better than those pictures. As a piece, it doesn't take up a lot of room, which is great. I know a lot of the recent Prime 1 stuff I've been getting is absolutely huge. They weigh an absolute ton. This here is hollow, unlike Fugitive, which almost feels like you could sink a boat with it, with that base. So, let's see if I can get a couple more different angles. Here we have the rear of the piece, so you can mount it on the wall. Dreads. And there you go, there's that copper look, which is great. See, in the distance, the arm doesn't look the same. Once it captures the light though, you get it. Yeah, in photos it looks quite brown. It's not the case. Here's another look at the rear of the piece, so to speak. There's wall mounts. The netting. Got some slime on it too, so it's not just dry like a lot of other companies have done. It just doesn't look natural. Looks very statuesque in the other pieces that were done with City Hunter, but this one is starting to add a little bit of slime, which gives it that more realism. And finally, we have his right side holding the spear. There's his wrist gauntlet there. So as I mentioned, this part goes on its own, and then the hand goes on later. Just have to be careful because the spear gets very close to the base. And if you adjust the arm the wrong way, that will touch. All right, so here he is with the swap out exclusive parts, which as a massive Predator fan and collector, I had to have. Pose looks awesome. Got the wrist gauntlet extended. Got the smart disc attached to his hand. And you've got this awesome unmasked sculpt. Now, in early pictures, I preferred the Infinity, to be honest, the sculpt to that. Was pretty sure I preferred the paint app on this, however. A few little things off, like just the shape of these little things here sort of warped in a little bit wrong direction that could have been done. See, here's great, there's great, these sort of go a little bit on the wayside. But in person, this is definitely probably the best painted, without a doubt, City Hunter Marquette head sculpt we've got from any company. Definitely beats Infinity's paint app. Smashes Sideshow's paint app. That's probably the the last of the three for me out of these three pieces now. Although Sideshow's that probably does have some of the biggest presence, how he stands up. But in regards to accuracy and paint up, that's down the bottom for me. Yeah, seeing this in person, as I said, I've only had this open for about half an hour. That translucent tusks, the teeth, just the inner like slime and the such small detail. The eyes are done really well. Got the nice black shadowing underneath. The quills looked average in people's photos earlier on, but in person there's a couple of rows there and they look great. I was actually going to display this with the Biomass because I've had I prefer the Affinity without the mask on, and the Sideshow one I do have the mask on, but wanted to keep this movie accurate, looking over the edge with the mask, but I don't know now. The head on this looks absolutely insane. Not sure what to do. One of the biggest gripes I have though with the piece, you got this extra awesome head sculpt or Biomass. There's no display stand for the spare head. So I know some people out there with the ability to make a custom one, they'll probably do that. But it's just weird how Prime 1 will just make 4 for this Jungle Hunter, which is coming, or 3 or 4 of them. They'll make 2 extras for the Fugitive, none for this, and none for the Cracked Tusk Predator. So sort of hit and miss of whether they decide to do them or not. So you got nowhere to display the extra heads, which, you know, it's a crime, I think, to put these in the box. You know, either one. But yeah, I'm absolutely blown away by this. More so, as I said, than I thought. It was reasonably priced though. It's probably the cheapest of the 3, which I mentioned. Yeah, it's $9.99 I think it was. We ought to have been happy to pay $11.99 if it just came with that extra spare headstand. Unfortunately, so. Yeah, so. There he is, guys. Love that base. So one thing, if you are moving it, definitely put your hand under this. It's not slightly magnetized with a pin, but yeah, if you lift this part up, this part was most likely going to drop off. So yeah, be very careful with that. Absolutely love it. If you've got this coming, I'm sure you'll love it too. Nice and blown away. And here's that extra piece if you want to wall mount it. So this would be the underside of it. So you'll have to pull this whole thing apart if you wish to do it now, like I have. So that base there I'm pointing at, that'll have to be removed, and this sort of locks up underneath and will hang by those tabs at the back. So you've got that option of having it more decorative on the wall, or this one here for desktop. So very nicely done. It's got some weight about it, but that magnet is quite strong, which it needs to be. You don't want that just dropping off onto other pieces below. All right, here are the assembly instructions. Showing you all the parts and how to remove them. Quite an easy piece to put together. Found it far easier than the Infinity one, which had a monstrous base, weighed a ton, and you have quite a bit to line up, where this sort of fit together really well. Very strong magnets. Definitely a quality piece for the money. You also get wall hanging instructions, showing you what to and what not to do if you want it wall mounted. Now you have the desktop option, like I mentioned earlier, and the magnetize option if you want it on the wall. Here is the art box. It's not oversized, So the shipping wasn't too bad at all, considering what the sort of current environment we're living in now with COVID shipping rates. It's still around the same price as usual, which is great. A really nice artwork there in front of the Eastern building, I think I remember correctly. There he's over the, looking over the city. Yeah, it's about a regular human-sized PF box, so it's quite compact, which is excellent. The artwork is amazing. Love this picture here. So it all comes in one layer in the box. So you only have to open the tape one section and it's all sitting there. There's no multiple levels to the polystyrene insides. And Prime One have been nice enough to give you a few flyers of other products and also this cool 2020 summer catalogue showing all the upcoming pre-orders and stuff. So I'll have a look at that later. That looks really nice. All right, lastly, we'll look at the Biomass. So it's held on by a very strong magnet. The heads are actually really difficult to get off. Once you put them on, they are locked on really tight. A bit of difficulty getting this one off. Not looking forward to taking this one because it's more delicate with the quills and the tusks and things like that. So here we have the Biomass, which by far the best and most accurate biomask I feel for a 1/4 scale city hunter predator. Really well done, got the meshing. Now put the two AAAs in there, which is great. You don't have to use cell batteries. On switch is here. But to my surprise, they've only put two sort of holes there instead of the tri-laser. There's only two. Not sure it's because they couldn't fit it in. But yeah, that's a bit weird. They've only given us the two, not three. But anyway, so that's the light up. It doesn't really do much from a distance, you just see it. At night, you'll probably just see it, but yeah, it's cool that we got that feature, but it's not something that's going to be used all the time, so. And there we have the underside to the mask sculpt. It's a shame I have to hold this, so there's no stand. It's a massive letdown though, in my opinion. That's the only thing that really bums me out about this piece. Is that lack of a spare headstand. So what to do with this, it's something I don't want to put in the box, but, or that one, depending which one I go to, or decide to go with, so tough choices. All right guys, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you've enjoyed this review and glimpse at the new City Hunter from Prime One. Now there are a lot of people out there waiting to receive this. And definitely didn't disappoint. I absolutely love it. More so than I thought I would. I'm probably going to go out on a limb and say it's probably the most accurate City Hunter Predator we've ever been given. It's probably debated with the Infinity, but as an overall package, this is probably up there a little bit more, especially with their paint up on this. So I might in the coming weeks do a showcase of him again with the Lazy Susan. We're constantly turning around, so we get to see a few more angles, but I don't really want to switch him out too much more, cause much paint wear, so, or paint rub, so I'll leave it as it is for now. But yeah, absolutely love it. Thanks guys, bye for now.